Joining us today, if you're an NFL fan, if you're a Tom Brady fan, you likely know our guest, Noah Reeb. Noah is a 10-year-old brain cancer survivor, and today we're going to talk about his cancer journey, his hang with Tom Brady and some other famous sports celebrities, and more. Noah, great to have you on Voices for Victory today. How's it going?
Going good.
So tell us, what are you up to this summer? I heard you're very involved in sports and you have a busy summer on tap. So tell us what you're up to.
I'm playing football and I just started baseball and um, yeah, we're just kind of hanging around.
That's the way to do it. Do you have a favorite sport to play? Is it
Foot
baseball or football?
football for sure.
And then what position do you play?
I play quarterback, but I can also play receiver.
Awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about your buddy Tom Brady in a second. But as you play quarterback, any tips that you've gained from watching him that you've applied on the field?
Yeah, just like the footwork and the arm and the hip movements and stuff.
Footwork is the key, and reading those defenses, right?
Yeah.
So Noah, we met at the Dick Vitale Gala earlier this year. What was that experience like for you?
Um, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that um Dick Vitale could do all this for all the pediatric patients, and I think it's so cool that they could raise $11 million in just that one room. But it was just so much fun being there and getting to see other kids who have gone through the same thing as me and who have, fought cancer, and yeah.
For sure. Dick's courageous kids, you're definitely one of them. And take us through back in February 2021, that moment when you found out that you had brain cancer. What do you remember about that day? How has your life changed since that day?
Um, so we just went in for a brain scan because I kept having these migraines, and then we just went into his room. The doctor turned his computer around and said, he was talking to my mom and he said, um, he has a mass in the center of his head and he circled it. And my mom was like, so cancer? And he was like, yeah, it's cancer. And he's like, you got to get to the hospital immediately. And I think those words that you have cancer is the scariest thing that could possibly happen to you. But as you progress um, with the treatments and stuff, um, you learn so much and you see what kids, you have just started this and you see what kids have been going through for a long time, sometimes their whole lives. And as you come out of it, it's like the biggest achievement you've made. So I think it's just so cool.
Your story is so inspirational to so many people of all ages, kids all the way up to people who are 100 years plus. You mentioned that as you were going through your journey, you learned so much. What were a few of the things that you learned that really stood out?
Um, you have to have faith and you have to know that it's your attitude that can get you through, and you can never give up. And yeah.
And just like Jimmy V said, don't ever give up. How did you, in those toughest times, how did you find that ray of light to stay positive and keep going through?
I think it was just football. Like when I would play pass or something, I think that would really just take my mind off everything, and it'd make me be positive, and it'd make me happy, and yeah.
You also, while you were in the hospital, you would watch highlights of your favorite player, Tom Brady, right? How did that help?
So after my first brain surgery, I was just like so down, and my dad's like, "No, do you need anything? Do you need water? Do you need another pillow?" And then I'm like, "Dad, I just need to watch Tom Brady play." And so he gives me his computer and he just turns on highlight reels of Tom Brady.
It's amazing. You got your Tom Brady jersey on. By the way, love your backdrop with all the football paraphernalia, and you got the Super Bowl trophy. So you got the best backdrop I've ever seen. I love it. And you mentioned Tom Brady. Tell us a little bit more about that friendship and where it all began. What was the first moment where you became friends with Tom Brady?
My mom's friend. As soon as I had cancer, my mom's friend thought he was like he had just retired, and so we my mom got him to what's I want to say. My mom got him to get in contact with Roger Goodell, and he got Tom Brady. And then one day, me and my mom are driving up after I think it was my first surgery, or I think it might have been my second, but we were driving up to our driveway because we had finally gotten home, and I was just bawling because I was just so sad. And all of a sudden, my mom's phone, she gets a text, and she's like, "Noah, look!" And then she shows me it, and she plays the video of Tom Brady, and that's where it all started.
Were you pretty shocked? I mean, that's pretty cool to
Yeah,
have a
it
message from
was.
Tom.
I think it was the most awesome thing that's happened. I think it's like I was so low, and then also just that video popped up, and I was just so happy. It was awesome.
And your parents told you that when you beat cancer, they would take you to a Buccaneers game, and sure enough, tell us about that and how that whole experience went, where you beat it and you were off to Tampa.
Yeah, so I beat brain cancer, and 2 days before the game, my mom and dad said, "No, do you want to go to a Bucks game?" And I said, "Oh yeah." And so it was the most exciting thing. And so me and my dad went because my mom had gotten really sick, and so we got really good seats and um, got to the game. We met a ton of nice people, and my mom almost forgot to buy the sign, and then she bought it like right before we left, and then she came back. She gave it to us, and we put it in our bags, and we got to our hotel, and then we slept, and then we went to go to the game. Then we walked out the door, and I said, "Dad, what about the sign?" And he said, "Oh yeah." So we made the sign, and then we wrote it on the front and back, so the people behind us wouldn't be mad. And then the first time I held it up, people were cheering for me. Um, I wrote the sign just to say thank you for what he had done for me and how he had helped me with cancer. But yeah, and then that last moment of the game, he comes up to me and puts the hat on my head, and it was amazing.
Meeting Tom Brady, through the phone versus actually meeting him in person. How do those two experiences compare to each other? That moment you saw him in person, right there.
I think it's like you're not just seeing him on a screen. You're actually talking to him, and oh my goodness, this is Tom Brady. So it's like either way, it's still amazing. So I think it's just really cool.
And show us the sign. You have it in your house, right? So and it's
Yeah,
framed. And I know part of this podcast is audio only, but there is a visual aspect. So I'm sure people would love to see it. You did a great job making it, and I didn't realize it almost didn't make the trip with you, but that is awesome.
yeah,
Tom Brady helped me beat brain cancer. It's
yeah,
amazing, and great job with that sign. And I like that you did it on both sides, like you said, looking out for all the fans so that they can read it too. So um, that's awesome. In addition to that, so you meet Tom Brady in person. He comes over at the end of the game. Chris Godwin, he was also a player that came over, right?
yeah. So Chris Godwin came over. He shook my hand, and he said, and then he read my sign. And he said, "I got you." And then he's like, "All right." And then he went over, and he's like, "Brady, there's a little kid over there. Can you look at him and just wave at him?" And instead of just waving, Brady stands up, he grabs the hat, and he comes over and puts it on my head. I think that was
Awesome.
awesome.
And then Brady wasn't done. He surprised you with something else. What gift did he give you after that?
Uh, yeah, so my friend invited me somewhere, or I forgot where, but he invited me somewhere, and um, we had to. I was hurrying to go to his house, and my mom was like, "Here, Noah, come on, come, let's go to gym talk for a little bit." And so we go over there, and all my cousins are there and everything, and we're playing downstairs. And then my parents are like, "Come up, you guys," and then we come up, we sit on the couch, and it's another video from him. And then he says, he gives two Super Bowl tickets. That was awesome. Just everything that he's done for me. So yeah,
What was that like to be at the Super Bowl?
it was awesome. Our tickets were really good tickets, and it was just so cool to see um, players play in the Super Bowl.
And it was
So
a great game too,
yeah, it was a really good game.
right down to the wire. Do you still? What's it like with Tom today? Will you shoot each other texts or anything? Or I know obviously
Now,
you'll be watching him this season.
yeah, for sure. But we can't really text each other,
Yeah,
sadly.
right. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
And you also, I think you were ahead of the national media. You knew that he wasn't going to retire, even though he said he was retiring. You kind of had an inkling he was going to come back, didn't you?
yeah. My dad kept saying, "No, there's something in me that tells him he doesn't want to quit playing." And then eventually, he came back, and that was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the Super Bowl favorites this year, no question about that. What message do you have for those people of all ages who are maybe on their cancer journey right now, or one of their family members or friends is going through it, or like you, they've beaten it, and they're moving forward? What message do you have for those people?
You just have to keep moving on with your life and keep just progressing and keep being positive. You just have to know. You just have to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna beat this, so I can do something in the end." And you always have to have a point in your life that you get to before you keep moving on. So you keep getting to that point, and then yeah,
So important to have that positive outlook, and like you mentioned before, whether it's watching highlights of Tom Brady or doing something else that you enjoy, ways to get through those tough times, so, which you definitely did. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I mean, like I went in yesterday and to do an MRI, and my scans are all clear. The blood tests are good. So yeah, doing great.
That's awesome. And what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to be an athlete? Do you want to be a commentator? Something different? What's your dream when you grow up?
I want to play QB in the NFL.
Love it. And you're on the right path. How many years have you been a QB already?
So I started out my first year of playing football. I was a wide receiver, and just the rest I've been a QB. So probably like 5 years.
What do you love the most about the quarterback position?
Um, that you're a leader, and um, your team depends on you, and that you have to work harder than anyone else. Um, I just love throwing the ball.
Yeah, I love it. And as that leader on the field, if your team's down, say you're down two touchdowns, you get in the huddle. What are you saying to your teammates down two touchdowns as you begin a drive?
Um, you can't give up yet. The game's not over. Champions are born in the fourth quarter, so you just have to play hard.
They are. Yeah, I'm sure you remember when Brady was down. What was it, 28-3, and
Yeah,
ended up coming back, coming
yeah,
back to win that Super Bowl.
that was awesome.
Yeah, never over till it's over. You can't ever give up, and have to keep moving forward. For the V Foundation, our mission is to fund game-changing research to save lives and achieve victory over cancer. How important is it to have that cancer research as you have gone through your journey and as you see others go through? What does cancer research mean to you?
It means that eventually you're gonna find a cure for cancer, and that this won't have to happen anymore, and um, that sorry,
No, that's great. Yeah,
that like eventually it could be in CVS, and just give yourself a shot, and yeah.
that's it. Right, you're right. Give yourself a shot. And in our at the V Foundation, our vision is victory over cancer. So how would you, to what it means to you, victory over cancer? How would you define that?
Victory over cancer. It always seems like cancer is one step ahead of you, and then when you find a cure, it's like if you can't get it, you get it, but then it's like it's not scary. It doesn't mean that you're gonna like have to go through all these scary things, and that you can just be happy and just say it's kind of like a cold, just get over it.
That's it. And like you said, cancer always seems to be one step ahead. That victory over cancer, you're a step ahead, just like you are on the field as a quarterback. Always important to be a step ahead of the competition. Just a couple, final questions, and we thank you for taking the time today to talk with us. What are you looking forward to most here this summer, and then just in the next year?
Um, I'm looking forward to playing QB for my tackle football team, and um, just having a good rest of the summer, and you know just progressing and keep having clear scans. And yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it'll be a fun summer ahead for sure, and we wish you the best. And I'm going to ask you a last question. I think I know the answer to this, but what's your number in flag football?
Um, I'm number 18 or number 12.
Okay, I figured the 12. Is there a reason behind the 18?
One of my favorite college players, Gunnar Romney, he's number 18. So I just did it after him.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Noah, we can't thank you enough. We appreciate you taking the time, and you've been an inspiration to so many people. We wish you the best moving forward. Stay strong, stay positive. As a Bills fan, it'll pain me to say this, but go Buccaneers. I'll be rooting for the Bucs and Tom Brady for you. So maybe it'll be a Bills Buccaneers Super Bowl, and then you'll get to go back to the Super Bowl all over again and watch it in person.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.